Thank you very much for joining us and staying with us. The conversation this morning is really about the state of insecurity, which is another dimension. 2 days ago, in Forum community of the Barkin Ladi local government area of Plateau State, where it was reported that it was 12, but it has risen to 14. These people were reportedly attacked by people suspected to be Fulani terrorists, with 12 cruelly murdered and 5 others seriously injured. Now, confirming the latest 2 casualties, Tony's man, Mr. Dong Pam, said that he has just come from the hospital where 2 of those admitted and were previously injured have been confirmed dead by the physicians. And it's a terrible thing. A case of death on the plateau. We allow you. Now, there have been different reactions in that particular community. The young people, gathered themselves and they talked on the matter. In fact, unfortunately, with the corpses, the remains of those that were slain, and it was a gory sight. We tried, to just do whatever we can with the bodies, but then you need to hear what was said at that gathering. That was quite a horrific one.
To call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to come to Plateau. We are also calling on the international community to come and help Nigerian government to help and fight this terrorism. Whatever means that will be done. If government cannot do it, government should arm every Nigerian, so that we will help government in flushing the bad elements that have infiltrated our areas. Yes. Nobody in Nigeria is safe because of Fulani militancy and Boko Haram. No individual is safe. No state is safe. Therefore, Nigerians must rise up and serve. We are saying this. If we don't get any report within today, we will come out in mass tomorrow. We will fill every street in this state in mass procession, and whatever follows up, we cannot guarantee peace. If we don't see justice, we cannot guarantee peace.
Yes. No peace. Yes. No peace.
Meanwhile, grazing must be stopped. If government will not stop it, we will stop it. Yes. If government does not stop grazing that has been bastardized and abused as a means of terrorism, we will stop it. We have to live. Our lives, our farmlands, our everything, our lands have been taken over by force. I want to believe if it were our people in possession of Fulani cows, yes, security will come on us. Yes. But our lands are in possession of the people that have grabbed the land. Nobody's saying anything. Is there balance of justice there? Not at all. So from today, sir, I'm in short. I should be taken anywhere. My life is not more precious than these people. It's not more precious than these people. I can die at any given time. Yes. So government should rise up, or we will. And in Nigeria, we'll notice. We'll take it to the street. Everybody should come out. That is my own submission.
God will bless you.
Right to self-defense is constitutionally provided. And if we cannot exploit it maximally, we will end up being cheated. These people did not use 10 guns to do this operation. They used sophisticated weapons.
Of course, a very sad sight, horrific, quite gory there. You could see that, blood part, that was the remains of the people, corpses of those that were slain just because they are from Barkin Ladi, because they are Nigerians. I mean, contextually speaking, for what offense, we don't know, they are being killed, and the death toll has risen to 14. We are being joined by public affairs analyst, a labor enthusiast, Comrade Lanre Fadahunsi. He joins us in the studio. Comrade, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. These are not the best of times, isn't it? Right. So, if you watch that video, that's just a part, less than 3 minutes of agony of some people And you could see the young man that spoke, you know, said many things in that place to say, if the government will not stop, we will stop it. And he mentioned some components of whatever leads to that. He talked about grazing. They must stop the grazing because grazing itself is not a problem. But whatever is being used, that he said grazing is being used as an avenue to perpetrate that evil. Where they are herdsmen, and whenever they are moving, some of them go around and do this killing. 12 on Tuesday night, it has risen to 14. We don't know, you know, what will be the toll in the coming days. That's on one side. And he made mention in an expanded video to that to say, if it's those people, he called them by name, to say if it's, according to him, the Fulanis, if it's their cattle that is in the possession of the people, the security men will come and, you know, do whatever they want to do. But their own land and the possession of the Fulani people, and nobody is saying anything. That's one thing he said. I saw another angle to that where he said, that's a man, that if it's, that the killing was done by sophisticated weapons, AK-47. And he said they were carrying ding guns. And the government sometimes will come and run them off, collect those things from them. But the people, herdsmen that are moving around with AK-47, the government will not allow them that wants to harm themselves, you know, to defend themselves with AK-47. And so that man is speaking to a non-level playground there to say there is a law that is for them. There is a law for the attacker. You could see them, you know, in those places. Comrade, your take on that, your initial response to that, because this is tired, actually.
Painfully, I don't like when Dr. Malai and if somebody who lived as the deputy governor of the central, he rose to that, you can know he's not normal. He's not a hungry man. All those some things are coming. Please, for God's loving sake, why allow some people to live in the forest? Human beings don't live in forest. Even if you are a visitor in a community, you are supposed to take residence. Even if your job is in the bush, farming or whatever, then you come home to sleep. But whenever you are in the forest, you are on camp. And when people are camped, you are camped for a purpose. Go act from camp. So to me, it is playing to the gallery to pretend that what is happening in people now started just. Look at what that young man said. It's over 10 years ago that some people's residences have been taken over. And nobody's chasing those people.
And they are still there.
They are living there. They took residence in people's homes. Those owners of the homes are living in camps. Those who took over their land and homes. It's ethnic cleansing. It's genocide. Not all genocides are religious. But it has to do with the takeover of people's lives. That is what is happening. And look at what the young man has said. We will. When you push people to the wall, they take the alternative course. It's been over 5-6 years that a retired General Danjuma, wealthy to the core, told Nigerians to go defend themselves. Because he said the government was involved in all of it. Are we not seeing traces of that? A governor of Zulum of Borno, governor of Benue, Bago, and the rest of them said, look, some people at Abuja are directly embedded with this so-called bandit. Snippets of information in public space have shown this. What has been the action of that? So when you see the likes, you see when we are looking at this issue, the likes of this international community we're talking about, how can your nation, how can Saudi Arabia, how can Egypt profile people as directly connected to terror, and your nation is still talking to them and discussing? They're not arresting anybody, any one of them. They're even keeping back lists of people that have been given to you at some point. Because you see, when we are discussing these issues, there are a plethora level of reasoning around. Some people brought these problems on the nation, ostensibly thinking they are playing politics. but the politics has created a monster for us.
Right.
Why not open up and say, we are sorry, we caused this, and we should know how to deal with it?
All right. So allow me to hold your thoughts. We are due for a short break, and, the program will continue shortly. Stay with us. Thank you very much. We are talking about the death on the plateau today, the agony of the people that are there. Barkin Ladi, for example, where the death toll have risen to, has risen to 14. We learned some of them were killed at a mining site, and these are some of the issues that we are looking into in the course of the program today. And the youth spoke on the matter, and their representative spoke on many things. And he said, we are waiting for the response of the government on this matter. If there won't be a response in 24 hours, they will mobilize everybody in that community and they will go on the streets. And he cannot guarantee, because according to him, his own life is not precious, more precious than those that are just heaped together there. Dead. And we have with us Comrade Lanre Fadahunsi and Barrister Moses Obaditan has just joined us. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Comrade, we are going to land on your thought. The man said in 24 hours, and you could see some soldiers were there as well, looking at the matter, because obviously at that point, they are expecting a response, and if not, they just have to protect themselves. And whenever they are armed, the government will come and disarm them. But those ones are going about with AK-47, and somebody wielding or carrying a Dane gun cannot face somebody carrying an AK-47. We will arm ourselves, we will defend ourselves, we will go on the street, and from there, whatever happens, according to the young man, they cannot guarantee, because his life is not even better than that of those that are dead. You are going to land on your thoughts, right?
Yes. So as I was saying, it is evident that when your back is up against the wall, you are ready for anything. He said he was ready to die. And that's, look, even the Dane guns that they were talking about that were taken away from them, we want the government to harm all of us, all Nigerians. So he's not even talking about, you see, when they say, oh, the world ended, for all those people who have seen the fire live, their world, it was like a world war to them. How can we pretend that the nation is not at war? Unless those who are supposed to be the protectors of the people are involved in that warfare. And it's commercial. That's the reality. You take people's land, you take farmlands from farmers, so that mining could go on there. If mining was not an issue in the north, why did governors meet and say they should suspend mining for now? And the sad part of it, and that's the truth of the matter, is that those things being mined, was it to the benefit of Nigeria as a nation? In most cases, the individuals are the ones doing it. They have airstrips along those places where they ferry all these things out. So it's a coven of corruption that is killing our system, and it does not mind that it's fueling that business with the blood of human beings. Right. It's unfortunate, it is painful, but if it has to be solved, then the leadership must take proactive action. If they allow guerrilla action on the mass, it's going to be dangerous. Why? A young man that was saying that some people can start arming them.
Yeah.
And when they do, because they know 10 people are coming across to you to attack you with AK-47 Tavo rifles, 10 of them. But multi-rounds equipment of some 100, 200 rounds. And you are carrying one Dane gun, you fire one, you have to take another 10 minutes to reload. So to him, by number, they outnumber those coming to attack, but by weaponization, those ones can deplete population in seconds. So people, if they give them support of ammunition, they will clear those. They said he said it, that they will flush these people out. If they get ammunition, they can help government do it, and that is the voice of the people. For international community to come. If you look at the
Comrade, that's what I want to ask you.
If you look at what happened when the Trump administration moved into Iran, it did not even discuss to an international community. So let Nigerian leaders not live under that feeling that it cannot happen here. Because this is the people talking, and those are dead bodies on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground, like heaps.
So they will come in and wipe them off and not discuss with Nigerian government anymore. Because they thought, well, we cannot be sitting. They sat with them. The American army and the Nigerian team sat together, and this is still happening. So definitely some people within are also colluders. They will sidestep your security architecture and go ahead and do the needful. All these people, look, unfortunately, it's not good to look at such videos, but when you look at videos of the corpses of the so-called militants, they are ragtag. They're hungry people. So how can you call them people, but some people are the beneficiaries of this bloody thing?
Comrade, I was going to ask you if you find this new trend of calling the international community to action in Nigeria at this time when we have an interim government. It has happened in this video. Also, the factional chairman of the PDP, Tani Moturaki, also said the same thing in a video that he made, calling on the U.S. government to come to our rescue, in this time, although that is, in politics. Yeah. But now we're talking about a trend now in security and politics. We're calling on international community to come to our rescue. Where is the Nigerian state at this time?
Well, it's unfortunate, but that saying, it wasn't by me, that statesmen think about the next generation, but the politicians are talking about the next election. That is what we are facing. People are still discussing election when you are supposed to put a pause on it and say, look, let's face this insecurity head on. We are too concerned about the next election that we believe is just normal. If people die every day. So I mean, we should not allow that to distract our political. And unfortunately, everybody is seeing through the facade. Because people are like, you are just talking about this all because of election. But the reality is, this call on international community is because people have been frustrated. And people have come to realize that it appears that those embedded in government are part of this problem. So you can't ask somebody to come and cut off his head when he was actually the one that owns the head. That must be so invariably you begin to wonder. Look at the position that one of the people that were fingered in the so-called Matawale saga said, look, I was involved. We actually even bought cows rustled by these bandits off them. And such a person is sitting in the security architecture of the nation. The international community sees through us. So if we think we are deceiving we are not deceiving them. They know what is happening. And so they cannot be deceived by it. To some, they refer to us as a nation being led by criminally minded people. And not those who are mercantile in every orientation. Look, when people know, it's dangerous when you know some truths. Very dangerous. Because it happens to be some of the reasons. You can imagine the late Malaifa told the whole world, yes, I know I might be killed. They will say they're arresting me, they can gas me or anything. But the truth must be told. Those people in camp are waiting for the clarion call. That they are waiting. Why must you go and live in the bush and the government cannot tell you people cannot live in the bush anymore? Yeah, you cannot legislate that people should leave forests. Yeah, why must you? But those in the forest are dangerously waiting there for that call to action.
People living in the forest, remember, it was part of the call made by the late Arakuri. Remember while he was alive?
Yes.
Akeredolu to say everybody should leave the forest.
Do you know what in the forest? Coordinated action when you are talking about insurgency and criminality? What happened at all? It was a lesson to Arakuri. You understand? But it's late now, but the fact remains that the vision of that man as regards Amotekun must be held, especially by the Southwest.
I'm coming there, but I had to put that, because Arakurin then spoke, and, there was a pushback from, the government of the day then, Muhammadu Buhari government, led by AGF Malami at the time, who questioned and said, no, there is freedom of movement and all of those things, and here we are right now. And Barrister Moses Obaditan, if you've seen that video in which you played earlier that we have up here, it's more like a cry of frustrated, tired people who says it's not new to them. And they are saying, allow us carry on. You are leaving us with the choice of a dingon. We can't face these people. The dingon around here is called Shakabula. The moment the bula goes, you have to wait to reload. And somebody is carrying a military-grade weapon, AK-47, AK-49. And in fact, you could see soldiers that were there. And the man said it in their presence to say, these shots that killed these people were not from dingons. So it was sure, and you could see the army guys, they were there. And it seems they appear conquered, they appeared tired, they appeared helpless. And just, you could see some of them, well, I wouldn't know, but none of them are really crying there. Not because they don't have tears, but like something they are used to. And they can't expect the thing to keep going on, and they want to defend themselves. How do you react or respond to this issue of people, and they name the names, according to them, say it's the Fulanis. Don't let the grazing stop. I remember, Temitope, few days ago here, the president, while reacting to the issue of the Donald Trump issue, said part of the directive is grazing should stop. Everybody should go back to the ranches. But it seems it's just rhetoric and it's not working. And the people in this Barkin Ladi are saying, those perpetrators always do these things, on the heels of they grazing with their cattle. How do you respond?
Well, let me start by what happened. There is a man called Ho. He was a Vietnamese leader. That should be around 1914. And what is happening like this was happening, the French and the Americans were against the Vietnamese. And they got a point, they said, we're going to face you. Because they were coming with suspicion. They don't have such a thing. He said, for every 10 you kill among us, we kill one of you. And one of you will be more painful than what you think of. And so the man went out on a guerrilla warfare. These people are coming. The natives know the nitty-gritty. They know the corners of their community. And the same story we are telling eventually happened again when the American went back to Vietnamese, apart from the whole in 1914, and they defeated the enemy. Again, the Americans were there for 20 years. I think they left about 2 years ago. The Americans were defeated. They were disgraced out of Vietnamese because the people have made up their mind. The casualty may be high, but once the people are determined, in fact, the scripture said in, I think, Genesis chapter 11, said when the people are determined, nothing can be taken away from them. They have seen blood, and they are just even asking, even those of us who are alive, are we better than these people who are dead? So we are ready to confront. And when it got to that level, it is the next to revolution. And that's why the state must come. Let me just give you some graphic of a record I have about killings under this present government. Amnesty International on May 29, 2025 reported that no less than 10,270 people were killed in 2 years. 6,896 killed in Benue State alone. And at least 2,730 killed in Plateau. About 638 villages were sacked by bandits in Zamfara State. So why am I giving you that one is that this lethargy of this government is time for them to wake up. Even if the Americans have not used the issue of a massacre of Christians, they wouldn't have done anything. Now, having seen this one, if you look at what happened in 9/11 in America, it will not happen again. Because once you shoot, you slap an American man, they will look for you. By all means, that slap, you get it by death. So if a government, according to Section 14 sub 2 of Nigerian Constitution, say it shall be the duties of every government to see to the security of lives and property and then welfare. And then on almost a daily basis or weekly basis, people are being massacred. And we have a standing government. And so they are even giving us the problem is that we know where they are, but the casualty. Is the casualty not there? There used to be a poem, the vulture. Another one called the casualty. by these late poets from the East. So what we're saying in extent is that these type of things ought not to be there. Even the American you are talking, they are now in our neighbor. Because I watch and I listen to a CNN program that they are within the neighboring country, Republic of Benin, and they are dealing with the bandit there. So if we don't have such weapon they are using, because I know we now have more men, the people are being recruited, the little we have, why don't you put them into use? For example, if you look at the history of the Plateau, it started over 40 years ago, or around that period. That was when IBB was there. You will recall that Ifulani was made the chairman of in Jos. And the people woke up and said, no, not in this place. We are the natives. We are the Brom. No one can. And the story I'm telling you led to so many lives were lost. Apart from the people who are now coming outside Nigeria now, who are cleansing the society or cleansing their community because they wanted to now farm and take over, they could not return to where they brought them during the 2014 or 2015 election. So the story we're now saying is that government should be able to have strategy. And that's why I want to, after the 9/11, see what the Americans did was that they changed their security architecture, major outcome of which was creation of Department of Homeland and so many other things. So if government now looking at this thing has been a recurrent decimal, and they have the DSS. If you go around Nigeria, every local government have DSS. And the purpose of DSS is to pick information. Yoruba, they have to mix with people, they have to foresee what is likely to come. So most of these things happen, they cannot claim not to know. And then if they pass message across and nobody is picking it, look at what happened in Yobe. They even said they are going to attack school and they brought some people there. At the wee hour, they left the place.
Kebbi.
Okay, Kebbi. So if you look things like this, and we are now looking and the government is not just saying, we are sorry, government is looking to it. That is not the approach. The approach is in a decent society. Once you kill one or two people, the state security, the police, and the other operators will go mad. They will go for it because it's a challenge on the institution. Why are they paying you? People just come. They are armless. They are not in a war. And then you say for one reason or the other, you keep on killing them. And then you bring animals to take over the land. In fact, I have record where they change the name of those community and they are there and government are aware. So we can't, the other time we blame Buhari, we said because he's the full animal. He's the president now, full animal. So if we cannot do it, and you are a father of the nation, so something must really have gone wrong. And if it's wrong, can't we make it right? We make it right by changing those people from the police commissioner in that Plateau State, from the DSS director in that state, and then the DPO, another command that are supposed to be there, bring in fresh people, ask them, give them instruction, what to do. You know, in a situation like this, you don't fall down. Do you know at a point in time, the OPC will have made this part of the West ungovernable. But Obasanjo don't look at where they come from. He give instruction, kill them, fire them. And that's why the OPC, brought under control. Let's leave the OPC, let's go to the East. The ECN and the IPOB, what they did over there was terrible. Their own brother, and I remember Senator Kanu was saying recently, you are talking about that what they did against our own brother, over 30,000 Igbo were killed. And if the state can take such a measure in the East against the East, and today they are becoming a fading star, those criminals there. Yes, why can't they do the same thing in this area we're talking about?
All right, Barrister, at this point now, it's obvious that the people have reached the breaking point. And he was saying, the man in the video was saying that at that time, that now that it's obvious that they are alone, they would have to fight back. Legally, what do you think this is saying? And then, of course, it almost seems that the people are already reaching, a state of chaos and all of those. What do you say to that?
Both either local law, international law, you have right to life. And when you are talking of self-defense, it must be equal and proportional. If even before the European came, Achebe put it in his book, Things Fall Apart. He said, when a man come into my house and defecate upon my floor, he said, do I wait and see and watch him? He said, no, I take a stick and break his head. So if somebody is coming to your society and they be killing over and over, and government is not helping, should you fold your hand? Do you need Danjuma to tell you should go on self-defense? If he's coming with gun, you come with gun. You have to defend yourself. Self-defense is not a problem. It's only when you come with a stick and you carry gun. Because that weapon is not proportional. The law permits you. These people are saying, if you cannot help us, we will help ourselves. If you are not taking them to any international problem, they have a right. I'm talking about whole. The external people are coming because they want to occupy. The man was just a local person, but he led the people. Have you heard about Moremi? These are people who are nobody. And when the men failed, the women came. Have you read about Deborah in the scripture? When men were jittery, he said, okay, don't worry, I will lead you. And then the Israel were able to conquer. So self-defense is God-given. You have a right to life. So if somebody is coming to your house and you're a man and you foresee who is coming and carry weapon and you have cutlass, get ready to defend yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you that.
Is that not a call to self-help? And I explain what I mean by self-help. Now, when everything becomes a free-for-all, that I can get whatever I can get, you can get whatever you can get. You know, don't forget that even among the people, these same people that are being killed and attacked every day, you would believe with me that there are criminally minded people still among them as well. Within those people, you can't really wait that far.
Yes.
Now, there might be people who will want to hide under that now that we can have all the ammunition and guns and cutlasses and clubs, while there might not be external aggression, criminally minded people can use it against their own people in kidnapping, in armed robbery. Now, some will talk about the danger of self-help. The moment you allow anybody to, even in those places called Senate crimes, in the US, they are still battling with the case of, gun violence and all of those things, because anybody can just pick up anything and face their people. How do we manage self-defense and self-help? If you understand my question.
I understand.
Self-defense.
You can only manage it if the state realize their purpose. It is when the state failed that I said, I'm not even calling. I'm just saying it is natural. Look at ants. As soon as you are approaching ants, you want to step, try to. There even another one you call itamudu. I don't know what they call it in Yoruba language.
Yeah, the big ant.
It will secrete some odor. You won't like the smell. That's animal for you. If you go to meet some birds, like fowl, why on their egg? The way they are going to attack you going to be different. That's self-defense. God has created every human thing, every living thing. I'm not asking them to do, but I'm simply saying the government should wake up. So that those of them who are the criminally minded, those who are likely to take advantage of the breakdown rule and all that there, shouldn't have the way. But what we're not saying, if we have local governments and we have DSS there, we have police, there's no place. In fact, till around 6 p.m. I was in zone 11. Something similar like this. There's a man who has investment in Oyo State. And then the license some gun. And then he reported it to the nearest police post. Under the law, they are supposed to collect it. Instead for them to do it, the police now use that one and then bring the man, bring false charge as his gun running. On security here employed. So what I'm saying is that this thing we are doing is that the state are gradually failing. The security architecture is not working. And that's why I said there's a need to re-strategize. It's either those people who are being sent there, they reshuffle them, or they bring other things. Then, like this plateau and Benue require urgent attention. Mr. President visited them. He has told them this is going to be the story. And then the issue of the state police has been agitating the mind. In fact, in time past, it was the North who doesn't want state police. Today, they are the one who wanted it. Because they now realize the distance. They now realize the failure of the police and the likes against them. So if no police coming to you and they kill your father, they kill your mother, what will you do? They once asked Ariel Sharon, the former prime minister of Israel. He said, why are you people Israel so bloody like this? Why are you always... He said, look, I was less than 6 years old when they killed my mother, they killed my father, and they killed my brother and throw them into the Red Sea. All right. He said, from that day, he does not fear of blood. These people you are looking, don't you know, is going to their mind. It's going to affect their thinking in the future. It's going to affect their relationship in the future. So for their people not to become bloody, the state must come to their help by doing the work. And what's the work? To protect
people's lives.
Wait, what you are saying? At a point in time, in that same plateau, police were taken from the south. They were placed. Special tasks were there to be guiding from here. What are they doing? What has government do in the last 1 year in that same place? What can we put? Don't we have people pick information? Don't we have gadget that monitor what is here and there?
Intelligence.
Yeah, apart from intelligence, we're even looking at some modern drums that you can send and look where these people are coming from.
Yeah, it's still part of intelligence.
It's part of it. But I'm even saying, is government not picking information who these people are?
To forestall these attacks.
Of course, prevention is better than cure. Can't they pick information? And then the information, whom do they give it to? Why is it that people are not? Then we must not rule out the political aspect. Who is that person that is saying don't mind them? I mean, people are being killed on a daily basis. Look at it once in a while, you see shooting in America. Immediately you see immediately they go after the person. In Australia, which has hardly happened. Do you know somebody ran after those and the man is hospitalized today? He was able to demobilize the guy and got. So we are now saying if they are reacting in Australia, which hardly has such a thing, we who have now been seen it as a culture, what are we putting? Why don't you ask for help?
Comrade, allow me hold you there. Yeah, you're a barrister and a comrade as well. But we are due for a break right now. We'll go on this break. When we return, we further speak to issues, bedeviling the nation. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Stay with us.